Hello, this is Sky. I'll be here with you until sleep. You don't need to listen closely. You can drift off whenever you like. There's nothing to get right tonight. For now, just let yourself be held by the sound of my voice. Let's begin. If this podcast has been keeping you company at night and you'd like to support me directly, membership is a beautiful way to do that. It includes ad-free listening and exclusive sleep stories, and it helps me continue sharing these calm little spaces with you. The link is in the description. Before we move into the story tonight, there's an invitation here to let the night hold you. We don't often think of the night that way, but there's a kind of quiet support in it, a slowing, a softening, a slowing, a softening. You don't have to hold everything on your own right now. Whatever you've been carrying, you can loosen your grip just a little. There's no need to drop anything completely. Just enough space for your body to begin to rest. You might notice small things. The rhythm of your breathing, the weight of your body, the stillness around you. Nothing needs to change. And if your mind is still active, that's okay. It doesn't stop you from resting. You can let my voice be something steady beside you, while the night gently takes over. And from here, we can settle into this moment, this infinite moment of unlimited possibilities. The possibilities of sleep, of dreaming, of surrender, of allowing. The possibilities of letting all the worries drift away. Letting all the things that happened in the day, and the things that didn't happen in the day, and the things that we might have needed to do and didn't get to do, the interactions, and the possibility of coming back to this moment, to this place, to this peace, wherever you are now, to the possibility of sleep and dreaming, letting go, surrender, the possibility of being grateful. Grateful for this moment, for this opportunity to be with yourself. Nothing else to do, nowhere else to go, besides right here in this moment. And now, dear ones, I want to tell you a story about the magic of the birds. We've already spoke about the magic of the kitties. And now I want to tell you about the magic of the birds. It all starts in a little gazebo that's covered in ivy, that's at the edge of a marsh. And there's plants around the gazebo. Now the landscape is not all bog. There are places that are a little bit higher, places that are a little bit lower. There are many plants here. Many plants winding their way through a bit of forest. Before one gets to the water or the bog, this little gazebo sits right on the edge of that. A little gazebo made of wood. It's got ivy growing around the inner edge and around the outer edge, and growing up the posts, and growing up into the roof. And just outside the gazebo is nettles, some brambles, some trees, low trees, not tall, wide trees, low, bushy trees with many branches, with leaves in full bloom. There's more ivy covering the ground, and bits of wood around that have fallen from the trees. They're just lying around. Going out the other side of the gazebo is a path that leads toward a bridge, and over the bridge to where the marshes are. But just now, let's come back again to the gazebo. The small little gazebo has some benches inside it. If one wanted to sit and rest, perhaps before they went on a walk, or when they got back. And it starts with me sitting in the gazebo, sitting and contemplating and being with nature, listening to all the sounds of the birds, listening to the wind moving through the leaves of the trees, the sound of the leaves moving. I can see the tops of the trees swaying in the wind. They sway a lot more than the plants on the ground. When the wind happens to get through all the leaves of the plants on the trees, it was then, maybe around 6 feet away, on a small branch that's a few feet off the ground, leaning against another branch that is covered with moss. It was then and there that I saw a little tiny wren. It landed upon the branch with bits of fluff and plant matter in its beak. We looked at each other, and then it flew off to take its plants to where it was going. And I began to settle in myself a bit deeper into this place, into this moment, to see, listen, and observe what else might be going on. I see some other little birds, a kinglet, little tiny birds that I wish I could hold in my hand. They're so sweet and so little. But of course, they're busy with their lives, especially this time of the year, building their nests. And perhaps by now, some of them are busy catching bugs and things to feed their little babies. As I sit and become very still and present, I notice more of these little birds. And it was then I became aware of the magic of the birds. A beautiful magic that they carry and that they bring to the forest and the mountains and the beaches and wherever it is that they live, because they live in so many different habitats. And it's here that they let me know exactly what they're doing. Besides what it appears that they're doing, there is something deeper, something more magical. And that is what I will let you know tonight. Apart from them flying around, of course, this time of the year, building their nests and carrying their babies, what are they doing the other times of the year? And even this time, their job is very, very important. They've also got such beautiful songs, each one different. Each bird, some quiet, some loud, some trill, some sing, some squawk, some quack. So many different sounds. And some birds seem to make few sounds. All the birds make lots of different sounds. And just now, the little wren is back. I can see bits of moss in its beak. And the amazing thing is, it is singing. Even with its beak full of moss. I could see the chest moving. So what are they doing apart from all the other things I've mentioned? Well, they've let me know that they are the ones who signal the plants to grow. They are the ones who help the plants to grow. Of course, the sun and the rain are also a big contributing factor to the plants growing. But the magic I'm talking about is the magic of the birds. At other times of the year, they tend to get together. Sometimes with just their own species, but sometimes there's a meeting of many different species of bird where they come together and decide how they will communicate with the plants to signal them to grow. And then there's the mystery of them flying around to different places. That also has to do with them spreading their magic. And yes, it may also have to do with the weather and the warmth and the climate and what their needs are. Of course, there is that. But the magic, in particular, of the birds lies in their ability to awaken and signal the plants. In the spring, there's something called the dawn chorus, where so many of the birds start singing. And even at other times of the year, they seem to sing a bit more in the dawn. They raise all their voices together in a beautiful symphony of sound. A beautiful symphony of their voices. Different melodies different pitch, different tones. And this all has to do with signaling different plants in different ways. Because different plants respond to the different sounds of different birds. And when they make this chorus all together, as they previously had agreed in their meeting that they had, they decided who opens up the song, how long it lasts, who sings what and when, and how it will end. And this is because they have the ability to communicate directly with the plant, and the plant communicates with them. This is the magic of the birds. And this is something that humans, with all their scientific ways, do not understand. The subtle magic that all these different beings carry. And like the magic of the kitties, and how they help people heal and awaken the stones and dance around in the middle of the night. The birds have their abilities, and they're so incredibly joyful. They also decide who goes where and when. Sometimes there are some birds that stay in one place all year round. And sometimes other birds stay in one place for several months, and then they go to another place for several months. And the magic is woven into that, because in one place they may be helping the plants grow in a certain way, but the timing of when to grow and how much to grow. And then when they go to the other place, they communicate with the plants there. And you see, there are sister birds, or perhaps it's more like cousins on different sisters and cousins of plants in different places that have a similar flavor and variety to the ones in another spot, hundreds of miles away where they go. And you might think, what about the places where there are no plants, like the birds that are in the Arctic or the Antarctic, where it's snowy and cold? Yet even though there doesn't appear to be plants in these places, there's still bacteria or fungi who are living beings. And the birds are communicating with and helping them. And it's a symbiotic relationship in nature. Everything helping each other out. And there may be other places, like little islands, where they go, where hundreds of thousands of birds all converge on one little island. And it might seem like there's not much plants there either. And they go to these places to have their babies. Or there's the birds that stay out at sea for long periods of time. But even in the sea, there are plants in the water. And there's plants on the shore. And there's other bacteria and fungus and other beings that rely on the magic of the birds to sing them into being, to signal them so they know when the right time is for things to happen, for things to grow. And this is all orchestrated in their meetings. In some places, like the rocks out at sea, they have very big meetings. And while they are breeding, meeting their mates, and being very busy rearing the babies, they're also able to have small communications about these other things. And then they go off to the other places that they go and sing or squawk and spread their magic around wherever they go. Their magic goes everywhere with them. And this is why it is so, so, so important to preserve these places and these habitats and these wild spaces where the birds can be, where they can communicate, and where they have space to sing, space to be, space to be by the plants, space to make their nests, and space to allow their magic to seep into the land. Because when they communicate thus, and the plants, and the bacteria, and the fungus, and the lichens, and all the other beings start to grow, this then influences the forests, the mountains, the deserts, the jungles, the sea, and all the places where these beings are. And then the plants can grow. And when the plants grow, other beings are benefited. The insects, other animals, the water, the people. And in this way, the circle goes on and on. On each little being and big being has a magical power in the dance of life, in the dance of nature. And this is most likely why I love to sit and observe and witness and make my small little human attempt to be a part of that magic, be part of that dance. And while humans are a part of that, as you may know, we can be a bit heavy-handed, which can result in a loss of habitat and resources for nature and all the beings. And it is my opinion that sitting and observing and attempting to get the smallest glimpse of the magic is so important. Now I am telling you about the birds. There are many, many, many other beings who also have their own magic, who also have their own flavor and the ways they contribute. And as I keep observing and being being allowed to learn some of the magic of the different beings, I will make more episodes to let you know what they are. But as you know, this story is about the magic of the birds, those beautiful, wonderful beings who can soar through the air, who can swim in the water, who can walk on the land, who can dive into the water, then fly in the air. Who else can be in so many environments? It's amazing to contemplate. And while humans have tried to replicate through airplanes and different flying contraptions, what else can match the majestic birds soaring through the sky? And even the birds that don't fly still have those beautiful insulating feathers, and the different ways that they are, and they move, or they run, and the glorious different sounds that they all make, each one contributing in its own way to the areas around them. They're all incredibly special and magical. As the story fades now, you can return to that quiet sense of being held. There's nothing to figure out, nothing to return to. Just the night, doing what it does. You can rest here and let everything else fall away. And now, if you're already asleep, keep resting. If you're still awake, that's okay too. You can let this episode play again, or move on to the next one. I'll be right here. Good night.